know about the lot. Even brought Yemi out. You know the shit getting real major. Jet out with the portal shifting to the other side. Came into Turtle Island. Gullah, Geechee, we get violent. Primordial waters, talking triple darkness. One toe Eve to bite the apple in the garden. Thank God, cursed your sons and daughters. Oh, fuck. Oh shit, the fruit gave you bad luck. Is that God or the devil? Tell me, did you read that book? No. Let you get your common sense took. Yeah. These motherfuckers tried to tell me that my melanin curse. What? Too bad I did my research. 666 carbon 18, take him to the next. Get your metaphysical.
All right, that's enough for that. Y'all only get a snippet. Yeah, I only get a snippet. All right. Nature gonna be dropping. I'll probably drop that single in probably about a month. But yes, we in the building. I know y'all missed us. Okay, it's your brother Nutter Nature, also known as Ether. I'm with my brother Clips guy. We in the building, getting ready to build on a lot of important topics. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all? It's the boy Clips God, aka the boy KilamInk, founder CEO of 378 Apparel. Out here,
Yes,
another Let God cast, trying to tune in with the boy, get some good energy going.
KilamInk. That's a raw ass name. Let the family know how you got that name, KilamInk.
Man, honestly, I don't even remember, bro. I feel like it was like manifested in me so much. I don't even exactly remember why I started doing it. It just started sometime around when I was in my first year of college. So I just ran with it.
But then, cause what? You know your name.
I mean, I know it was that, but it wasn't like I don't remember thinking about it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like
I
thinking
ain't peeped
like I
that.
should do it. It was just I kind of like yeah, that's how it happened. But I don't really remember doing it. It's like kind of getting a nickname that you don't really remember how you got type.
All right. All right. What's up, family? It's your brother Nutter Nature. It's the Elect Godcast with another powerful episode. Okay, we ain't gonna be here too long. Just gonna be talking on a few key points that we've been pondering on. You know what I'm saying? But first, make sure y'all head over to the Him online store. Okay, it just dropped. We got many powerful healing modalities over there, conquering at least 90% of ailments that we suffer from today. Okay, make sure you head over there. Get your family members some, get them off the medications, okay? I'm not a medical professional, you know what I'm saying? I gotta throw that out there. Anything you hear is for informational and entertainment purposes only. But make sure you head over to SecHimInc369.square.site. That is SecHimInc369.square.site. Okay. And I'm rocking the latest right now. You already know. So go ahead and let them know where they can find that at.
Yeah, you can find that at 378.store, 378apparel.store. Yeah, that's one of the joints, man. That one of my favorite joints. Really, we finna come out with some new man. The spring and summer coming, so we really in spring right now. Just be feeling weird because it be like halfway, winter in Chicago. But regardless, we
Man,
got some major moves coming, bro. Nothing but the
facts.
higher motion, man. Elevating the mind, elevating our actions, everything. That's really what it's
Facts.
about. That's what the whole brand is about.
For sure, it's about trying to become as self-sufficient or independent as we can, or just repping what we want to rep. You know what I'm saying? Putting what we want to see on them t-shirts, putting what we want to see, what we want to hear in these songs. God damn it. Finna try to start growing our own food, you know what I'm saying? But then talking about what we want to talk about on these podcasts, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, kicking it off, stretching out the man real quick, you already know how I do. We're doing some simple mathematics for today. Today is today being what, April 19th, sir?
Yeah.
That is so 19, today being the 19th, number one, on supreme mathematics being knowledge, number nine being born. That's perfect. That's knowledge born. You know what I'm saying? And then if we want to do it for the whole date, we got the 4, the 5, 14, 5. That gets us to 3. Mathematics of the whole day would be 3, which is understanding. But just building on the day as knowledge born, you know what I'm saying? 2 living young brothers, young guys trying to birth a lot of new things in society. You know what I'm saying? That should be birth and destroy a lot of the other weird shit that they got going on. But
Yeah, big facts, big facts.
gotta start off with some concerns, man. I got a few concerns. But I'm not worried. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like life.
But about this city that we in, man. It's Chicago or Chirac as they like to call it, but it's fucking Chicago or Chilago. What is it? Chilaga. There's another ancient name, but man, before I let you get your 2 cents on the state that we in right now as a people inside of this city, I want to throw this out there. We can't we can't complain for getting treated like animals when we acting worse than animals. Okay, like this is something that people really need to understand. I know that it's not really us out there doing it, but it's up to us to step up, say something about it, and change what's going on. So we see the state the city has been in for years, getting worse recently, but y'all need to get control of y'all kids. Get your kids, okay? Get your little brothers, get your little sisters, your little nieces, nephews. Get them, and for one, give them a whooping if they was out there them last 2 nights. Get their ass a whooping. And for two, birth some knowledge into them so they could chill out. You know what I'm saying? We really need to teach the kids something. Like, teach them something. And I'm saying kids because I know these, like, even though they high schoolers, severely acting like kids. So we need to really project, positivity towards the youth. Like the youth is that's what comes after us. We were the youth, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't leave a great example for them to come up under. So it's really up to us, my generation, a little bit older than me too as well. We need to speak to these youth, okay? Because it is the youth that is plaguing, that's doing this crazy shit when I think about it. Like a lot of some older cats still gang banging and shit. But majority is the youth, okay? That's a kid mindset and that's some youthful shit that's going on. So we really need to touch the youth. But my brother, what's your thoughts, on the conditions and the state, the paradigm that we are in currently in this hellhole or heaven, in this heaven?
Having hell, man. I honestly feel like I think that some black people are like the medical patient that gets addicted to the drugs that once were helping them. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously, any plight that we got, any problem we got going on, it's something it stems from something real, and a lot of us know how to not be addicted to them remedies or try to overdo it. But a lot of black people, they try to like human beings always try to do things that I think make it easier for them in one way or another. And some black people, just like any other race of people, it's in everybody, try to use a certain victimization, rather it's in conversation, even if it's with their own race, ethnicity, gender, whatever, as a way to make things easier for them. And right now, when you see stuff like what just happened over the weekend with Chicago, you see it makes the people who are really hurt look stupid because everything that we have going on seems, or everything people say about us seem like it's right or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we sitting here tweaking, and our reality is really that you have a portion of people being put out into the front. Like you got like a lot of people learning about culture through social media. A lot of people learning about events through social media. A lot of people on
Right.
social media putting up different perspectives based off the same information. That's like not a lot. So, I think that I was truthfully embarrassed about what they had going on. They definitely need, they ass whooped if they got some good parents attached to them. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, it get to a point like,
Man,
sheesh, it's crazy.
it's really crazy because it's like I don't recall that shit going on with my generation. Really, like craziest shit I seen was that stupid ass looting shit during the COVID shit. So this shit is like damn. And I know you feel me. They got older siblings or older parents or whatever. Even though I know some people don't got a guide force, unfortunately. But what I'm getting at is really the cause and effect, because and I don't like giving motherfuckers excuses. All right, even though I'm about to give some excuses for that, because we got to look at the cause and effect. And when we looking at the cause, we look at an array of different things, from goddamn it, the shots they be giving kids just to go to school, goddamn it, the food they feeding them, chemtrails in the sky, lead in the water, like that even take me to a point. Like I recently, in my visit to the county, I had a huge learning experience. And it's really, well, not even learning, just coming to conclusions. Like the same thing what I was saying, you can't put people, or really like how the kids, they acting out like animals, and then we can't expect them to not treat us like animals. But in the jail system, they treat you like animals and then expect you not to act out like an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like many hella people in the belligerent, acting animal like, doing crazy shit, the craziest shit you gonna see in jail. You gonna hear the craziest motherfuckers talk about the craziest shit, them acting crazy, doing belligerent shit. But then it's like, what's the cause of that? You in jail, you feeding motherfuckers, like you are what you eat. So the jail food makes you crazy, number one. And for two, there's no water to drink in jail. You're drinking lead tap water all day if you want water. If
Mm-hmm.
you choose not to drink water, you're gonna drink the milk or some Kool-Aid. But if you choose to drink the water, it's lead water, like serious lead water. And when we look at lead affects the brain and affects how you will act, like basically affects your different characteristics and shit. So it's really a cause and effect issue with a lot of this shit. Like that's why that's a law of the universe. One of the laws of the universe is cause and effect. Okay, every cause is gonna have an effect. Every effect has its cause. So back to that, it's like the cause and effect. So like with the children, I would say not being no guidance, or really they have guidance, but a lot of children look to outside sources for guidance, mainly because I guess I don't know if the parents not catching them at the right age, or they not as intriguing, or what, but them was a lot of fucking kids, bro. Like usually I was expecting to see like 20, 30 kids, bro. It was like 500 kids out
Yeah, I
there
think it was
tweaking.
probably over 1,000. Like they was going crazy. And the thing about it, like,
Yo, yeah, I'm doing the episode. You good? What'd you say, bro?
I was saying, really, at the, like, I feel like what a lot of parents don't understand is how much people outside of you raise your children. And when you see stuff like that, you really understand that, like, it probably was some good parents and stuff like that there, but they not really able to have
Mm-hmm.
an effect on all of the outside things. Like, there was some psychological study they were saying where low key, like the amount of effect that a parent can have over a child's like personality traits, like for real, like they can be a certain way or do things right or wrong, but their actual personality, right, they're introvert, extrovert, etc. Like a lot of that they get from outside, and
Mm-hmm.
that right there is just a prime example. And I feel like what you saying has a lot of merit, but I asked you, like, at what point is it on us, like with all of the problems going on and everything? At what point is it like, nah, we got to like, at what point can we start self-diagnosing and seeing what's going on and start to see like we got some issues we got to deal with ourselves? Because that's what I'm starting to see. Like everybody want to get catapulted to the front, and now we starting to look stupid. It's like we started this conversation with some serious, really serious stuff going on, and then now it's being shifted to a place where it can be undermined by other people's behaviors and part of the movement.
Mm.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, shit. I feel that. I feel that. And then it's like you know that's tied in with gang culture at the same time because if in Chicago, if we didn't have such a gang culture and not just like a gang culture meaning like a disruptive, destructive, deficient culture, like that's what I mean by gang culture, like a culture that's not conducive to society. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the blueprint that's been left over this city for a number of years. So, you know what I'm saying? It's really, but like you were saying, it really do come with that. Come
I'm
with
saying, like,
that.
at what point do we start getting our shit together? I feel too, because, like, honestly, like, I think that if it was only the affected like by force, it'd be a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people choose to be stupid and not really mentally,
Yeah.
physically, or emotionally forced into that situation the same way you see with like music and game culture. Like the
I
people who
mean,
really from
low
what
key
games
though.
is, like it's different. Like you have no place to escape. There is no right out. Like you in these city blocks, ain't no way you can go. But that like these dudes ain't even really went out of town. Everybody went to Wisconsin Dells, you know, in the city. Other than that, you ain't really went nowhere. And then you got people from all these other places making the problem worse. And they want to try to wear traumatic wounds that they ain't even never had, and it undermines the actual problem. Like I said, if it was just the real gangsters who
Yeah, I
really going
think
through it, you
I
know,
ain't gonna lie, we might have to get on some get down and lay down shit. Like or some type of
man.
forceful Black Panther type shit, like you feel me? On that type of shit, really on like some new era Detroit shit. It's brothers already doing it right now.
But
Peace and shout out to New Era Detroit. They doing their fucking thing over there, okay? And they just, groups of men arming themselves, patrolling different neighborhoods, stores and shit that's frequently visited by gang members and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
then if we had a group like New Era Detroit downtown at that time, that shit couldn't it wouldn't have went on like that. And even if
I feel
it
like that's just another policing, bro. Like I personally feel
yeah. I
like
mean we need
you
some
know,
sort of policing though, like a community like community revolution and progress.
mm-hmm, facts. No, I definitely feel you on that. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's going to come. But when it comes down to I feel some of the issues, bro. I don't know. Like we definitely on the same page, I feel. But like I said, I asked you at what point do we start to like look at ourselves, and how do we look at ourselves? Because like ain't nobody else gonna help us. You know, if the whole world is so-called quote
Mm,
unquote against black people trying to do
I
this and
feel
that,
you.
then we eventually got to start looking at ourselves. And I really was saddened largely by what I seen, because if I were me being a black man, I see on the news these kids. Like I'm thinking, man, these kids is acting like animals, bro. Right? So if I'm a white man and I got that thought, all of a sudden am I racist now because I'm just so happen to be looking at black kids? They could have been
Mm,
Chinese kids or white kids, but
mm,
whatever, these kids acting like animals, bro.
I
And that's
feel
what
you.
just to complete embarrassment, because it's like y'all throwing shade on the actual movement, bro. Y'all throwing shade on the people who actually,
That's
need.
why you gotta, I ain't gonna lie, God, you gotta separate yourself from that shit. Like I even not even that in that particular situation, just even when I seen the atrocities going on in the city and the deaths niggas was going to just I guess ride for they block. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why niggas claiming blocks. The whole 196,940,000 square miles of this earth is yours, is mine. So
But that's why I say they claim
stop
blocks. Niggas
claiming
don't know
blocks.
nothing else. Niggas
But
don't know
look though,
nothing else, bro.
that's why you gotta separate from like we gotta remember like yeah, we love our people. Yeah, I love my people. I know my ancestry a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I know that melanin connection, but we gotta separate and remember that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. So it is gonna be a point in time where as we rise, people are just gonna keep getting lower and those people being the same color as us. But we can't always throw the string to try to pull them back up because they gonna pull us down with them type shit. So we gotta get that separation. So anybody on the outside can see that all right, these is high vibrational beings right here.
Right, right.
These is low vibrational beings right here. And it's not a skin thing. That's the biggest, I guess, shit that they put on us. The biggest trick, the biggest distraction is this skin, white and black shit. Like white and black shit. Like just like how you were saying, some black people are called a white motherfucker racist for saying them kids is animals. But I'm saying, as a black person, them kids was animals. They was acting like animals. But if a white person said, a black
Right
person gonna
now,
be like,
it's
oh,
recognized
that man,
meaning.
right?
Right.
Like, so like that's why we really gotta get that separation in, so they can see like, all right, it's not a color thing at all. We looking at high vibrational, low vibrational, positive, negative. You feel me? We're looking at assets and liabilities. You know what I'm
That, bro,
saying,
that's really
brother?
what the Apex Mafia is all about. Like,
Yes,
I
sir.
realized in life, like damn near like the saying is we meet at the top of things. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of conversation, the type of health, type of peak performance physically, the type of, wisdom. And I understand that the reason why probably the ancients even understood the power of the pyramid, I think even related to the people,
Mm,
is there might always be people who choose to be on the bottom of that pyramid, want to live their life. They don't want to, stand on their principles. A lot of people know back in their mind they got a consciousness that they're doing something they shouldn't be doing and they do it anyway. Or they just
right.
get too far gone. And then you're gonna have people who choose to be better and elevate themselves. And then I feel like that is gonna be fewer and fewer. And we feel that in all types of our life, even when it comes to friends, things you're trying to do, like family, you're trying to
I
grow
ain't
in your
gonna
life, you
lie,
gotta
folks.
push.
That 144,000 that was talked about in ancient times starting to sound more and more real, G.
Bro, and that's what I was alluding to too. When it's like, if there was a special people or things of that nature, or if anybody was watching and they feel like the same, then you might be that. That might be
Mm,
what that whole idea came from. Or like the King Instinct design I had is really based off the fact that, you know what I'm saying? It's some people just have it in them. It's an instinct. Like before there were kings and queens and people, there was a need for something. You know what I'm saying? And people they put, they money where their mouth was, you know what I'm saying, and they actually was
mm,
able to get stuff done. Well, a lot of the populace didn't exactly have the ability to. And then I think that where all the royalty and the kingly, like, treatment came was behind how important that was when it was working for real. Like if
mm.
you got a king or a president who really is changing your economy, your environment, making shit good,
Right.
I feel
Feeding
like
you
it'll
all
be a
type
lot
of
better.
shit.
People will give you all of these things. And that's just another example, bro. Like we at a point, like people got to understand that human evolution is not like, you people might not believe in evolution. You can call it adaptation or you can just call it human growth. It's not
Mm,
over. We still growing. There's still going to be certain people who are literally growing, and there's going to be certain people in
mm-hmm.
our human family who is not growing, and they are going to stay. That's their journey. I can't say they're gonna stay wherever, but that's their journey. And our journey is to be a part of the next step of humanity, the next step of, like I say, human betterment, human improvement. You
Right.
know,
I'm glad you brought that up because that brings me to this next question. So, where do you see us going in the near future with the implementation of AI and just the paradigm that we are currently in? Where do you see us going in the near future? In like I'd say the next 5 years.
man, bro, the Matrix, Matrix, nigga,
Hey
like,
man, I'm debating if I want to use Chat GPT or not. Huh?
you know, man, that's a good question, bro. I do a lot of study of history, so I can peep these type of cycles. But I think right now we're coming into an age of where technology is going to streamline certain processes to a point that we ain't never seen it like that in history, at least recorded history. We right
Mm-hmm.
now we can talk to somebody in Japan and Nigeria and Brazil at the same time, and instantly. So information can be passed quicker than it's ever been able to be passed, and information can be gathered, statistics can be gathered, algorithms can be put into place and created way quicker than they were in the past. So who can say exactly where we'll be? I personally feel like any type of government or anything like that is going to push AI over a labor force, a human working labor force is going to fail. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? And That's just why I feel about it, bro. Anybody who want to focus on the AI labor force over human labor force, your economy is gonna fail because people need an ability to be able to take care of themselves.
But then again, well, no, let me finish. Go ahead, finish your point.
No, I'm saying people need to. They need to have the capability to take care of themselves to essentially keep the economy going. You know, it'd be thousands and thousands of people out of jobs if AI was to take over, and that would essentially be like a socialist or a communist country in that way. And I see that kind of coming, bro. I was just watching this video where this dude basically asked ChatGPT. Um, he basically asked ChatGPT to like I
You
got
talking about
zero
he was
dollars
asking
and
him
I'm
about the
trying to make some
future or
money.
something?
No, he was like, I got $0 and I'm trying to make some money. And it basically set up a whole list of things. It showed him exactly how to get his Shopify, exactly where to go, and like everything. You know, and he actually
Mm.
started to make money off of that. You know what I'm saying? So who knows, bro? But I asked you the same question of like, what do you think the future is going? You know, not only with AI, if you put AI and what just happened with some of the kids, you know, meaning like 16 high school and like between I say high school and 20-year-olds was the main people down there. Like, what do you see coming up? Like, what do you see happening?
Man, I see a lot of things, but grasping on that last point you had, they actually so about us not being in the workforce and stuff like that. They got something going on, the elites, where by 2030 they say you will own nothing and be happy. And basically they gonna try to like, cause they know we love free money. So like if the average motherfucker take that free money, but the government will be like, okay, all of we giving you the food, the land is ours, all of that, all like everything is ours, but you can still live as good as you want to live, type shit. Like you won't really own nothing. That's what I
Yeah,
feel like they
that's
might be trying
essentially
to do
called
that.
communism, bro. It's like artificial intelligence communism,
Yeah.
which is something this country has feared for a long time. So it's like I don't know, bro. But one thing I can say, you know, I know we gonna be all right. You know, like you know, like a wise man told me, sometimes you gotta treat life like a movie and just play your part when it's your time. And you know, when your part on
Mm,
the script come. Other than
mm.
that, you know, you gonna find yourself being in the middle of just like as a group, we make a big part, or we can make a big change in things. You know what I'm saying, that you see around you, but individually, you're gonna end up just being another person in the movie. You know what I'm saying, and that's essentially what's
Okay.
going on.
Life really is like a movie. I'm glad you said that because I say that a lot too. Because it's like how like what my brother Aki said on a few episodes ago. For every new level, it's a new devil. So as you ascend, as you reach newer heights, it's gonna be
Mhm.
harder. It's gonna be harder, and there's gonna be people trying to take you out or keep you from reaching that next level or distracting you from reaching that next level. So that's a real good analogy. But where do I see us going? Hmm. Hopefully, I'm seeing the implementation of some groups like New Era Detroit, many of them, not just one. We need at least like five touching the streets of Chicago. That's what I'm hoping to see in the next couple of years. Even though I'm not going to be in this state in the next couple of years, but what I hope to see from my hometown is groups like New Era Detroit. Hopefully, I see some of those, at least five of those, implemented. And with the implementation, other groups, I kind of see it dying down. But at the same time, it's sad to say, and I know some people not gonna want to hear it, but some of these organisms just gonna have to leave the earth. It's sad to say, but many of them actually gonna have to leave the earth. Okay. However it happens, I don't know, but they just gonna have to leave the earth in order for us to bring balance back to this state. But yeah, over there, I don't see it getting no better now. Like, I don't see it to get no better anytime soon. But I definitely like. I'm not always negative, but I definitely see a possibility for change if we implement the different things, like I said, or we can get on some Black Panther Party shit and get on some get down and lay down shit. Like if you
But to be honest
like,
with you, bro, like I don't really see that working because the problem is they like I mentioned before, they'll your enemy likes to put your name next to something that already has a stench next to it, a public stench, and
mm,
me and Nike was low key just watching these videos on TikTok, and there was this black dude was in Korea. He spoke fluent Korean, and he's asking them their perspectives on black people, and the main things you heard from all these people was essentially like fear and music and gangster and all of this stuff. So it's like
mm.
that's a very easy picture to put on us, man. A bunch of black dudes with guns, or a
I
bunch of like
mean,
that's us
that's
being as
why it's
black
gonna
as man.
be.
Like
That's why. My bad. I
no,
ain't
but hear
trying to
me
cut
out
you
though. So
off,
what
guy.
I'm saying is
Go
like
ahead.
you look at these other communities, they don't have that, and
I mean,
they're
they
running
don't need it.
circles
They
around it.
don't need it though.
But in certain instances, they did need it. And the point I'm making is, whatever your solution is individually, you got to move different. Like they might have been able to do that, or they might not have, but it was based off their own demographic and what was going on with their culture or they people. And I feel right now, a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of black
mean,
people with guns is gonna get nothing but
see,
like
look,
a
I'm
negative reaction. But like I say, what
no,
I
no,
think
no.
would now listen to
Go,
what
go
I'm saying.
ahead. Go
What I
ahead. Go
think what
ahead.
would help largely is if you economically grow, you're gonna already have guns because you'll be more legal citizens with a Floyds, more legal citizens with a uh
Mm-hmm.
carry concealed, more opportunities to be able to have the resources, time, and information to educate yourself on gun safety and all of these things. It's going to already happen. But the main reason why it's been hard for black people is because we keep our economic situation is always messed up. I feel like that is the main thing, what I'm saying, this physical realm that
I would
messes you up.
agree.
Like if the economics don't get right, we'll always be just angry guys with guns. If our economics was right, man, we can all pull up in tuxedos and damn there be NRA members, not tuxedos, but the bow tie type thing, and all be NRA members and nothing they can do about it.
No,
But I feel
I
like the
feel
black
that.
reason why the Black Panther Party was able to get ousted was because the stench they was able to put next to the name of something great going on, and it happens a lot of times. Like when Kanye West was mentioning you know the Jewish community and doing all of these things in such an aggressive light, anti-Semitism was instantly a name that they can put on him because he was being so aggressive with his antics and everything that he was doing. It got to a certain point. It's like, dude, you're putting like we're going to just be able to call you something, and nothing that you say is going to be able to have any real light to it. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's going to basically going to be
Mm,
put in this box. I've been feeling like I've been getting put in a box my whole life as a black man. Like whether I had a gun or not, if I showed any level of force, it was like call the cavalry. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely open to arming yourself, but I just feel like as a black people, like we never really been able to truly arm ourselves legally, bro. Like
that's
why do
why it
we all
wasn't.
have Floyd?
It wasn't. I mean, I feel that. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely agree that economic is damn near the number one. It's definitely a top issue, and if we get the economics back flowing, that definitely affects a lot of issues. But
We can start our
with the
own police.
groups,
We can literally like fund the a police department in our own community. Even if you got to
I
go
would
through
rather
legal
fund
procedure.
a group like New Era. Like it
But what
ain't
I'm
just
saying is you can
it
set
ain't
up a
just
committee.
black people walking around. It ain't just black people walking around with guns out talking about, oh, you better not rob that lady. It's like one of them. It's gonna be men who, like, we could even get some ex policemen. Like it need to be type of that, like some ex policemen that's licensed to carry and carry all that stuff. And then majority is not just gonna have their guns out. Yeah, they gun might be on them, but they just gonna walk around and police the community, not like how the police do today. Just interact with the community in a healthy manner, spreading light, spreading peace, positivity. Like look, if we looking at, think about this. Think about 100. I think it's called 125th Street in Harlem.
Mhm.
You think some youngers would have been able to do that shit in Harlem? No, because even all the groups that disagree with each other, the Hebrew Israelites, Muslims, all that, they would have shut it down because that they still out there with a form of consciousness. So I'm just saying we need different groups, kind of like 125th Street in Harlem, out there spreading consciousness, or like I don't know, just but at the same time being armed, so people won't think it's Swisher, you know what I'm saying? But really, we need definitely the groups. But I definitely agree with you on the economics. If we get the economics back going, that'll definitely do a big shift. But nah, fuck the police. We
'Cause I'm
definitely
saying, like,
need.
at the end of the day, like, no other race of people exactly had to do it in that form, or that
I
was not
mean, but
like
hey,
that,
don't
or that was
say
not like
don't.
the.
Hold
But maybe
on,
what we're
hold on.
saying is like one of the same in the sense where it's like,
People be tweaking over there.
no, absolutely. But what I think is that
I'm
like
not
their
racist, my
main
bad.
their main goal is like, to be kind of like, lack of better words, like to get to the money, like the bread, the economic status, to taking care of the family, making sure that your
Mm,
communities is set up correctly,
hmm.
and when it comes down to the solution, I usually see the solution being more based. It's almost like, that's like saying like the solution to crime is more police. Like, I don't exactly think that's the solution, because more crime,
Nah,
more police, they keep putting more and more police in there, and that's not lowering the crime.
the
The
police
criminal,
the
you
ones
gotta get
doing
to the
most of the
criminal
crime.
before, you got to get to the criminal when he a child. You got to get to the criminal before he even really get infected with this type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Or doing
And the
all of these
police the
crazy
ones
things.
doing most of the crimes out here.
But you got to understand that it's the money, bro. Like, when you got your money set up in a way where you are a community, where you can have a committee meeting and you have several different people making six figures in the coming into the, you know what I'm saying, to the committee, and we are like, if you don't want us to, if you don't want to do what we say, we're going to literally leave this community and take all of our tax dollars. If you don't want to do what we say, we are going to, hire a new, we're gonna lobby for a new police chief. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to lobby for, a new committee member, a new senator, etc., House of Representatives. Like, that's where the real power comes in. I feel like we'll be a bunch of aggravated people with guns, which we already have. But what I do agree with is the fact that we need more groups that have a showing of force,
Yeah,
in situations like that. But I feel like,
cause
bro, it's gonna be clashing, bro. It's gonna be a lot of gonna be a lot of people, a lot of kids getting shot. A lot of these people, like, you see what I'm saying? It's so easy for
that's why I was
that
saying
route to
like,
go to a place where it's like we're going to end up being put out. All it takes is, one of these groups ended up trying to police some stuff. One of the kids had a gun. Somebody got shot. Group of people started shooting. Dude tried to defend, and some people. It's so like, even if it's realistic and like everything was
so
done that's to the book as possible, it can be a bad stench, a bad light instantly getting put next to your group. And now all of a sudden we got, legislation trying to be put against our group. We got the feds knocking on our door, trying to shut us down, trying to
no, that
compartmentalize. You
ain't
know what
gonna
I'm saying?
happen, bro.
I
That's
mean,
why
I'm
I'm
telling you,
saying.
it happens all the time. Like, and I'm not gonna say that it can happen.
Well, you talking about
Or
in
I'm not gonna
what
say that it
time?
will happen.
In terms of what? Because I'm still talking about on like having groups on the
I
streets.
think really what we
That's
got like stuck at was the whole gun situation, because
yeah. I'm not talking about
I've
niggas
heard a lot
walking
of black
around
people feel
toting.
like we're getting a bunch of guns and defending ourselves and doing this thing like that. Like, when you look at the Black Panthers, like, if the Black Panthers didn't have guns, they would have dealt with a lot of violence. But I feel like they would have still been a group to this day. If they were not if they could not be looked at as a bunch of black dudes with guns who had something to say, I feel like it would have been different, right, wrong, and indifferent. Because, mind you, like I said, I definitely believe in arming yourself. Your amendment
But
rights.
it comes with education first. So like the arming yourself and the self defense, that comes after. But I'm really talking about like the education, because we trying to educate the youth. Like if we had Chicago set up like 125th Street in Harlem to where Downtown, it's black conscious men out there, whether it's Hebrew Israelite, Muslim, it could be a Christian, any religion or any God bodies, anything you want. Just showing black men not arguing, not fighting, not shooting at each other. You
Mm-hmm.
having the youth see that changes their way of thinking, especially at a young age. But when we see the youth in Chicago, they grew up seeing niggas get killed left and right, seeing the police kill niggas. So now they over hate police. Like the young generation severely hates the police. So it's basically based off the conditioning that they've been given. That's what I'm saying. We need better conditioning, like how Baba Heru say, peace, love, and light to the elder Baba Heru. He say we haven't been brainwashed. We've been brain stained and brain dirty. We need to brainwash ourselves. And I agree. You know what I'm saying? Because the conditioning is where it's at. Like I say, I'll repeat it again. If we had Chicago set up like the conscious powerhouse over there in Harlem, I think 125th Street, where we got groups of black men outside doing conducive things, doing things that are assets to the community, or just doing positive things with each other. Groups of black men doing positive things with each other. The youth seeing that will have a different way of thinking as they grow up, because they not seeing niggas kill themselves. They seeing niggas get knowledge. So now they want to get knowledge, or you know what I'm saying. If they like, if you tell yourself, like if you tell somebody that they are divine and they have to uphold that divineness at a young age, they would grow up with a better mindset, I would say, because they gonna have that higher self in them that lets them know, like, yo, these activities that they trying to do, that's not what you should be doing. You know what I'm saying? So you split up from people and shit. But that's really what I say with
I
that.
totally agree with what you're saying. Ultimately, I think about the way that the gangs were originally set up as an example of something similar to this,
Mm-hmm.
where the original like gangsters, OGs, like real original GDs was growth and development. It wasn't supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
about like such a
And
negative, light to it.
not to cut you off, this would in my visit to the county, I was chopping it up with one of the young brothers, and we was building on how GDs and BDs was first together, and I believe it was BGD. Then it's crazy how it gets switched, and now they killing each other. It's probably been at least 50 dead bodies on each side. So you feel me? A group that came together to build with each other, to come together, ended up having like 50 dead bodies on each side. But going back to your side, to your
No,
point.
like I said, I take it back to that. It's very true. You know what I'm saying? I feel like one of the main reasons why they got there is because of the economics. Like
Mm,
ultimately, it's too many broke people fighting over broke shit. Like
mm,
like when it
mm,
came down to a lot of the OGs who was making real money, like real money makers. If you want to be on something gangster, we don't want violence. Violence
mm.
brings noise. Noise brings less money. We don't
Facts.
got time for
Repeat
that.
that.
You know what I'm
Repeat
saying?
that. Repeat that.
Like
That's
the real
facts.
gangster, they was not trying to have violence, bro. Violence brings noise, and noise brings less business, less money, bro. So
Yes,
ultimately,
sir.
that's why you had the original gangsters. Like, bro, go to school. Don't do none of this. We ain't. Don't be. Shooting at the kids on the playground and the old folks and the woman and all of this crazy stuff that degrades the nation or degrades
Mm-hmm.
your community. But ultimately, when the economic situation is always at a front, a front, you know what I'm saying, at your front door, I think that causes too much. Like I say, just broke nigga thoughts coming. You know what I'm saying? Like no offense to our ancestors, but at the same time, I think they'll even be able to relate. People started to do things because they were so thirsty over money. They were
Mm.
starting to do things because they felt like they was gonna be broke. You know what I'm saying? You got people robbing people because they ain't got no other opportunities.
I ain't gonna lie, God, before you, not to cut your wisdom, but I feel like that drug epidemic was a big thing that threw us off track, because we low key was rolling, we was on track, we was heavy in consciousness. Then I think it was when Reagan with the whole drugs and shit that
Bro,
threw us
honestly,
off
it was
track.
before that, and I'll tell you how, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
recently was just watching. I watched all of the Godfather movies, right? And I never watched it with this perspective before. But if nobody they don't really talk a lot about this, but they were extremely racist. They like I don't even, there was not one black character. Like it was nothing but just black stand-ins, and they were all like like servants and stuff like that. But they were
Mm-hmm.
very clear about how they felt about us and how they did stuff. And the whole, premise behind the first movie was the Corleone family did not want to work with drugs. When drugs got introduced, the Godfather said, "Yo, I don't want, we're not doing that."
I'm talking about the black people,
Listen
not
to
the
me, bro.
mob.
Listen to me, brother. Listen to me, because it gets deep and it's right in our face. So
Go
when the
ahead.
Corleone family said, when he said, "I don't want to do that," they basically look like you got all these senators, politicians, etc., and you're not going to be using them for our gain. And you got this territory. We're going to try to take you out, take all of that, so that we can make this money. And even the people, the families that didn't want to do it was like, dude, I'm in this so that I can control this. But if you can take a little bit of money and make 10 times more, et cetera, you say you can make like send like $250, $100 and make over a band, couple bands off that. I can't control my people. So that's why I'm in it. Ultimately, when he came back to the meeting after they had killed his son, he was like, you know what? All right, bet I'll do it. And what they said was, and this leading back to us, he said, you know what? We'll just sell it to the niggas. They're animals anyway. Let them lose their soul. Right.
Mm.
And one of the things that one of the family members was saying, he was like, I don't want to be sold around no children, around the woo, just breaking down like woo. You know what I'm saying? And this is right in our face. And now look what happened. This movie came out in 1971, which means is that the preparation for movies like this usually span back years. Some of them can be back 10 years. And they're talking about a time that was possibly happening going back from the 60s, 50s at least. So exactly what they said happened. They stayed into the drug or the gangster business, but they was gonna let the niggas do all of that crazy stuff. Give it to them
So
because
you
we
think we just
behind them.
accepted it out of nowhere?
No, I don't think we accepted it. I think that's what we fail at. You know what I'm saying? With the drugs, when you said it started around the Reagan era, like, no, it low key started before that. They
Oh,
already understood that
right.
bringing the drugs into this gangster business, you know what I'm saying? Which is why really I feel like I don't just judge every gangster, because sometimes that's like when you're giving nothing, the real gangsters, I'm gonna feed my family regardless. You can't always judge a
Yeah, I
person who's
don't
still
for
on the
sure. I
start.
don't judge
But
no
but
gangsters
I'm saying
anyway.
like
Like
that's how our people who
real
we want
gangsters.
we was out there, we was broke, we ain't had nothing going on, we was trying to keep our principles going, and then the drugs came in and they destroyed us, and they knew it. You feel me?
I
They knew
agree.
that was gonna be. That's why Corley. That's why the Godfather. All that happened. The whole premise of the movie was behind that. And I'm like, damn, bro, it worked. 50 years from that movie, and they talking about at least 60 plus years before this, and that shit is happening. You know.
I agree. Bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Absolutely wild,
even
bro.
with
That's
like
why I say you got to
how
get
the
on that
gangsters.
economics, bro. Because all of those groups of people eventually streamline into a better economic situation, to where, like I say, they ain't got to worry about, they people. Like I said, if you trying to tell your people do this, you know what I'm saying, but they can take $200 and make 2,000 from it, it's gonna be hard to control. But they streamline their communities in a place where it's like, no, you can come and make you a living, and they was able to be strong with their culture, and they was able to stay, win. The Irish community, the Italian community, the Jewish community, all of these people had thugs at one point in time, just like we did. But they was able to get out. Well, we got addicted to this. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
To live
we done
strong.
changed the whole paradigm for what an actual gangster is. Like everything you said was damn near on point. Like in today's time, and this was me and Aki touched on a little bit in the I think it was the fourth episode, but really a lot of the shit that goes on today in gang culture by these young kids would be cause for a violation back in the day. Like a lot of the shit y'all do, so getting for number one, getting high off your own supply. That's them to every nigga that's selling drugs. I say 90% of niggas selling drugs is getting high off their own supply. That's
No, I wouldn't say that, because I think that's with the pills and the lean and that shit.
bro. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about selling weed, selling pill, anything, drugs that niggas are selling. They take the same drugs. I'm saying back in the day, it was a strict rule: don't get high off your own
Right, right,
supply.
right,
So
right.
that's number one. The niggas doing number two, shooting babies and mommies and innocence. Okay, that's a big no. Okay, like a nigga, one of the youngest got killed in the '80s for doing something like that, and then definitely That's what I can't wrap my head around.
Oh wait, not to cut you off, guys.
Shooting,
Look how the cartel doing right now to this day. Somebody had kidnapped some stuff. They bro within like 8 hours. The dudes the dudes who had did it was damn near presented to their ass and with a note like this was not meant to do. This is not how we rock, etc. etc. Quick, nigga.
yeah, cartel don't play, nigga. That's how I want my people riding for me. If I ever get incarcerated, which I won't, y'all better come dig me up out that bitch, boy. That's some real riders right there. Even though I don't condone gang activity,
No, no, I
they
wasn't
ride
speaking
for
on the
their own.
time when. Are you just speaking on what happened
No,
with
I'm just speaking in on like the past of their ass and shit. But
right,
back
right.
to my point though. So like the another thing that I can't wrap my head around is the slide into funeral homes. I still can't wrap my head. Like I don't understand how it's not a one nigga in that gang that says, "What the fuck is y'all doing?" Like smacking niggas or disarming niggas. Why is it not one nigga in that gang disarming niggas for trying to go shoot up a funeral home? That's
See, what
lit.
you gotta
That's
understand, bro.
beyond crazy.
Well, I ain't gonna say you have to understand it, but just remember
I
the
overstand,
high.
understand, God.
That's what I'm saying. I know you understand. That's why I say remember and keep your perspective focused on the highs and the lows of this world. This world gets so sick, and
I
it's like
agree.
when you're at the highest, it's like you brag with how much you do.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? When you at high vibration, when you at the low, you brag with how much you hurt, how much you fucked up, how
I
ill you can
agree.
get. You
I
know, so
agree.
that's what
That's
I
why.
focus on with that. Like what can you tell them? They trying to vibe low. You
That's. I
talk
mean, you
about
could tell them
ego.
a lot though. It's a difference
But you
between
can't tell them because that's not they want to vibe low. You
and
they
then. But look,
give to them
them the
bad. Exactly.
exact. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just building on what you're saying. You can't say nothing to them because they backwards, bro. It's like you can't, it's like what they want to get out of life. It's not what you want to get out of life at all.
And they
They want
don't.
something bad. They want what's worse, nigga. Who the biggest gangster? Who got more bodies? Who could
That's
do the
why I
worst?
say
Who hurt
them.
more? I
Them
got
the
shot right
niggas.
here. I got shot and I'm still going. Who hurt worse? Like.
Them the niggas that I said sadly is gonna have to leave the earth some way somehow. They gotta be eradicated. But yeah, back to the point about original OGs, original gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Like even in my visit to the county recently, I seen a lot of real OGs in there building with them, talking about the fucked up shit, like building with them, and it's like it's really crazy because like everybody I've seen in my visit to the county this week was damn near more civilized than what I just seen on the streets of Chicago. Like it's niggas in there fighting crazy shit. Some was tweaking, but like it's really crazy when you think about it. I'm in that building with Muslim brothers. It's Muslim brothers in there. I'm chopping it up with the ox in there. Like it was real. Like it was a learning experience because I just like observing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big observer. That way I can come to different conclusions on how I view my thoughts and shit like that. But there's no more original gangsters. These dudes today is claiming a block, right? Claiming a block, which is a small radius, small diameter. You claiming a block, all right? So they claiming a block. They get locked up. I say 7 times out of 10, them niggas that they was on that block with is not coming to bond them out. That's facts, okay? I seen it with my own eyes. They not coming to get that man. That man has to call his family. But he not on the block with his family. So when he get out, he gonna go right back on the block with the same niggas that didn't come get him out that jam. Okay? I need y'all to really digest this. So, well, for those who live in that life, I know somebody living that life. You gotta understand really how this like back in the day, if a nigga like real on some real shit, on some real gangster shit, back in the day, if a nigga from the block go down, his homies gonna be the first ones trying to grab him out the jam. They gonna be on it. But now in today's time, niggas is man, I don't got it, bro. But they finna go buy a seventh after that. They finna go buy a zip. They finna buy
But
some
that's
perks.
why I
But
say
but
they
they on the phone like,
bro.
man, I don't got it, bro. Woo, woo. And now the man gotta call his family to come
No,
get
but
him
even
out the
more
jam.
like, bro,
Really, I seen
like
niggas in
humans, bro. You
there
gotta understand,
hurting.
humans are very self. we're selfish, bro. We're self-sufficient. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like in our like we were self like or you know the word I'm looking for. You know, like we very
Like
much looking for
greedy a little
ourselves.
bit.
I mean, it's not even just greedy. Everybody is looking for the easiest way. Like naturally humans look for the easiest route. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
when it comes to like that's life, that's nature. It looks for the quickest route with the least amount of energy. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to end up not holding on to some of the things they said because they see easier routes. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to happen a
Mm.
lot of times. But that also goes along with like people don't. Bro, you got to understand how culture exists, bro. Like if you want to speak about the future, like you have to look at how we are right now. Like this culture exists. It's existed based off of it's like all of the elements. You know what I'm saying? You got the physical, the spiritual, the cultural, like all of these things, like you know, go hand in hand that eventually start to make what it is that the future is going to be. What these children are going to be starting to do. You know what I'm saying? Like our culture is not based off of like you can't have a culture of trying to scold a bunch of children and you can't even pay the bills, scold a bunch of children and you can't, you know, you ain't got the skills to pay the bills, they hungry, they starving. And that's
Mm.
essentially what it's become, bro. Like every time you get, you know what I'm saying, some old heads trying to say some stuff, it's like, bro, you broke too. You live right next door to me. We
No,
both
hey, I
are
agree.
we
I
both on
agree.
welfare, bro. Like we have to understand that taking care, and that's the thing that starts with taking care of ourselves, like as a people. Stop looking for, you know, somebody else to put a movie up for. Stop looking for somebody else to push our something, push it ourselves, no
Mm.
matter how long or how grueling that takes. I feel like we'll be better than any other thing, bro. Because ultimately, bro, if we the reason why we focus our culture so much on drugs is because there was not enough, like I said, it has to be enforcement, it has to be sentiment, like something, or not sentiment, but like you know, like something that like gives you like yeah, like maybe there's sentiment. I'm tweaking with my words right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like as far as incentive, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have some incentive, you gotta have some cultural effects, some spiritual effects, some
Mm.
environmental effects. All these things start to cultivate a person's real life culture in the future. And the reason why we messed up right now is because a lot of our parents, especially the ones who try to judge us, y'all make it seem like y'all was angels, bro. Like y'all was listening to NWA and all of this crazy stuff, and y'all didn't understand y'all was becoming addicted to a
Mm.
certain lifestyle that would, along with all of the other things that's going on, would fuck us up in the future, bro. Like we didn't have like the OGs ain't have no money. Or the OG's life was just as messed up as a young kid, so they thought it was another solution. What you saying ain't even work for you, you know. And that's what we dealing with at a large level, bro. Like I don't know if you watched Snowfall, the last episode. You watched Snowfall,
Hell no.
the
But go
last the
ahead,
last
tell me what
episode,
happened.
so I can spoil it for you a little bit. The last episode was just crazy, bro. Like basically, you've seen Franklin go down the path of addiction to money. Like for a long time, he like you didn't peep it until he lost all that shit. When they robbed him of everything, he became so addicted to it. And basically what happened was right before he was finna get the money, his mama shot dude. He never got the money. And he just was on a crash and crash. His woman ended up taking the rest of his bread. And you seen this dude just end up being a drunk. Like at the end of the shit, bro, he was like a drunk. Just like going through the neighborhood. Like you wouldn't even be able to imagine that this character throughout the whole series ended up being this, but it was
Mm.
because he was addicted to that money, bro, and it destroyed him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that's like a good example of like, you know, how the culture had like how our culture shifted. We was addicted to certain shit that destroyed us, bro, and then left us fucked up. And I be hating with a lot of the old heads make it seem like we was raised by saints and shit and all of this. Actually, the murder rate has gone down. You know, it's just
Since
more.
when?
Bro, the murder rate has gone down since the 90s, bro. Look it up, bro. When there was them buildings up, bro, when Cabrini Green and
I'm
all
gonna
that shit was
definitely
up,
have to
bro,
check that
shit was
out.
wild as fuck. I'm telling you, people have checked this several times. It's just more fake niggas flogging these days. And the
Or
places
right
where
now,
it's
so
happening.
there's more innocents getting killed these days.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But no, bro, shit was crazy. Back in California when the Crips and the Bloods, niggas was real life going nuts, going
Nah,
stupid,
yeah,
bro. Like
it
the
was. But
murders has
like,
definitely declined. Like I say, it's just been more egregious and in the places where it's going on, it's more concentrated. I think that's like, so that's like what's going on in Chicago. The increase in violence is not happening everywhere else, and that's what we like. It's kind of hard for us to imagine. Like you hear that from us, we like what? The shit is crazy as hell. What are you talking about? But it's like you gotta understand, this is not all of America. This is not the
No,
whole
for
world.
sure.
This is just where we at, and we just so happen to be a place where it concentrated and got worse. But in other areas, bro, it got better, bro. Like for real, they
I
was able to
see.
gentrify a lot of them areas that was messed up by now. You know what I'm saying? And
I
they ain't quite
agree.
gentrified Chicago now. But that'd be another thing to see in the future, bro. Like, what do you see happening for Chicago, bro? Like the real life trenches, like in the next like 10, 15, 20 years, like you see it just still being fucked up. You see it getting gentrified. Like,
Man, with the implementation of AI, they better hope they don't put no police robots on the street, get to smacking you niggas up.
talking
Police
about nigga,
robot.
I predicted you was finna hit this link. So I'm
Police
talking.
robots get to smacking niggas up and shit, but nah, I mean, 10, 15 years for Chicago, man, that's hard because if I'm looking in 10, 15 years, I gotta look at the whole world because what's going on right now is gonna affect the future. And then what we see happening with AI, we know that AI is gonna be sentient one day. We know it's gonna think for itself one day. It's just when is that day gonna come? But I'm sure no time super soon because ain't no robots walking around now. But 15 years, I mean, because I gotta point out that the American dollar is falling, and that's something I've been thinking about lately because when we looking at what they trying to do with this one world currency, like so the Cash App dude just got wiped out. Now they come out with their Fed now, which is similar to a Cash App, which is like some type of digital shit, right? Because Bitcoin and the blockchain is growing, so they got to come out with their own digital shit. And then it's like, damn, should we as American people hold on to the dollar as a medium of exchange? Because when it comes down to it, are we finna go get the yuan? Are we finna purchase the Chinese yuan? Are we finna purchase these other countries? Or it's gonna be a bartering thing? As from what I see, I feel like we're gonna get back to bartering because every nation has a rise and fall. The pendulum always gonna swing. You know what I'm saying? Like Clip said, when we looking at ancient times, we looking at the cycle. So America is planned to fall. It's written in the ethers. America is gonna fall, and we might be here when it falls. Our kids definitely gonna be here when it falls, but we might be here when it falls. So we got to think about. I'm not really so much. I'm really trying to stop worrying about all that shit going on in Chicago because, like I said, I separated myself from that because I got bigger shit to worry about than niggas killing themselves all day. I'm just finna get the fuck out the area and just let them be stuck on stupid. But I'm gonna still try to do some organizations and something like I'm definitely trying to do organization for the youth. But in terms of me worrying about them, it's more so I'm worried about, goddamn it, myself. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to start a garden this next spring. I'm trying to become self sufficient because in the next 10, 15 years, man, I see the American dollar being damn near being wiped out. But at the same time, are we gonna adopt this digital currency? Some people might just adopt it right away because they don't see the ins and outs of it. They're like,
Bro,
oh,
we've
so what?
already essentially adopted, bro. Like, you know how many people pay with card, bro? Like when you paying with card all the time, you gotta imagine that you literally are going to work.
I bet I got a call, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, we already really on the digital currency stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta imagine most people don't use cash, bro. Like, you gotta think you're getting direct deposit onto your card, right? You would have to physically go to an ATM to get some type of cash, you know what I'm saying, to have like a physical currency. You got to actually go to an ATM. But other than that, it's you going to work, you're doing physical labor, and then you got this card when you go out to eat and you sit down, you eat, and you gonna swipe and you gonna get a nigga a tip off this card and you gonna go home. And you will literally have to go out of your way at this point to get cash. Like like back in the day, a lot of places didn't take cash or it was an extra fee. But nowadays, the vast majority, like direct deposit, is such a streamlined process. Or people will have cash checks and they will cash it.
I ain't
But
gonna lie, you don't even want your money on that card. You seen what's been going on with the banks?
yeah, I definitely see what's going on with the banks.
We
But I
gonna
was
have
just
to.
speaking
We
on like
gonna.
as far as like the transition from physical to digital, like
Oh,
we're
right, right,
basically
right,
already there. The average
right.
American already on a day to day, like I say, you can imagine you work sometimes and it's like you might not have cash. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally might not have cash at that time um
And
because
that
you
shit,
are, you know what I'm
I ain't
saying,
gonna
you
lie,
constantly swiping.
that shit very scary when you think about that shit. Like, I really don't
Online
like,
purchases,
I
cash
don't
apps.
like having money in that shit. Like, I done got, motherfucker done took money on my account a couple times. Niggas to this day is scamming, taking money out of niggas' accounts. If you got the money on you, niggas not, nobody finna take that shit because it's on you. And second, when we looking at digital, we looking at tracking everything you do, where you at, your whereabouts, and we looking at control of your finances. If you don't control your finances, what the fuck? You seen what happened to Kanye? This nigga was a billionaire, just turned to a millionaire, quick as hell. Billionaire
Right,
went
right.
to a millionaire, quick as hell. So
No,
we
what you
really got to
saying
look
has a
at.
lot of what you saying has a lot of merit to it, brother. I'm not gonna lie. Like you do have to have a physical value. But honestly, bro, like, if I was to say about the future on the economic sense, I'm not too worried about like you want to use your foresight, but you don't want to be too much in the past or the future with it. You got to kind
Mm,
of be in the now and just keep doing what's the best. Because honestly, like we gonna be here, bro. Like you know what I'm saying. If existence wills it, bro, we will be here. We will, like, no matter what goes on, I don't care
for
what it
sure.
is, we will still be here. And we gonna have the ability to thrive. So
Hold
I'm
on.
not
So
about
so
like
before my bad.
no what.
Before we get to the last point, so you say we gonna be here. Do you feel like they plan to, how can I put this? They plan to implement AI inside of sentient beings, being us, aka cyborgs. Do you see it going that way, or do you see us as people staying sentient, staying conscious, staying basically remaining humanoids? You know what I'm saying? Or do you see us changing into some whole other shit?
You
And I'm
know,
talking about in the next 500 years.
or I see sometimes I start to feel like I'm like in the fucking Star Trek movie or like Star Wars or something where it's like a whole universe full of different beings and perspectives and stuff.
Man,
And
I
it's
ain't gonna
like
lie. I be
sometimes
feeling like I'm in Men in Black when I be around my cats, bro. My cats be making me feel like I'm in Men in Black, G.
like it's a
No
whole
cap.
nother intelligence going on type. But no, I'm saying like because I say that to say like in these type of movies, right? Like Guardians of the Galaxy, etc. Right?
I Robot.
No, but I'm not even going that far. Just hear me out. Like say like Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a good example, right?
I
There
ain't even
is
see
like
that
the
joint.
us, but like like the depiction of it, it's the one human and a bunch of aliens, basically, right?
Right.
He's like essentially like the only human that's really around like that. And the us, what's gonna happen to us is not exactly something that's like my people is more like either the group or all of existence or something like that. But the identity is never to your identity is never put to like such a large group of people and their decisions. You kind of let their decisions be them and try to guide yourself. And that's kind of how I feel even with humanity, bro. Like I personally feel like I feel like humanity is at a point where there are so many different people with all different types of perspectives, bro. Like I don't really see like our people, like even though there is our people, I can't say all like I can't just say everybody is finna be that, you know what I'm saying, or not. I think that is going to really become like people are going to have their own identities and their own reasons and what walks of life, and that's a part of
Mm.
everybody's sovereignty. You know what I'm saying, that we have even to this day, and we really have the opportunity to implement that to a point. Like I say, it might be like one of these crazy shows. It's a bunch of different types of people. I mean, it's already like that. You know what I'm saying? You'll go out sometime, you walk in the city, you walk in New York, Chicago, some of these places, so many different types of people. It's like,
Facts.
honestly, I cannot I don't think we're gonna be able to just change all these people. People are going to choose their own path, bro. So when it comes to AI and all this, bro,
Mm.
I just don't have no fear, bro. I just feel like any type of like indecision or like, things I cannot exactly tell, the empath to, I just okay, I know we're gonna be all right. Focus on what's going on. Don't show no fear. Cause I never put no robot to be stronger than a soul or just the amount of possibilities that we hold within us. You know what I'm saying? Like we are literally like us, especially as African people, have gone through such atrocious things. Like I don't see, you know what I'm saying, regardless of what it is. Like if our time is meant to be up, I think it'd be more of a choice than something forced upon us. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I
mean,
don't really
I
see the whole cyborg thing happening for everybody. Honestly, I see it more
nah.
being like it's gonna be like I say, some Star Trek shit, bro. You gonna have your clan of people that's doing you. You gonna go out and see some aliens, bro. Like,
I agree, low key. Like, I don't think it's I don't think it's gonna be forced upon us because you got to remember slavery be a choice on the slight tip. Like a lot of the mental slavery, a lot of the shackles being put on the man, or just the consciousness of people is a form of slavery, and it's a choice. Nobody can say they was forced to do a lot of stuff that they willingly do to basically uphold to the norms of society. It's gonna come to where it's the norm of society, where they depicting it as the norm, putting it on news like it's the norm. Now everybody want the Neuralink. They seen Future get the Neuralink, like, oh damn, let me get the Neuralink. Like they see all these
but you
different.
gotta understand that's the humanity in us. Like that's the not
That's
the
the.
humanity. That's the nature in us, the animalistic in us. Like we're programmable, very
I mean,
programmable.
but
A lot of
and
our
who
ideas
is? Hold on,
is.
you gotta separate with the us because you not. I'm not. If I see
I mean,
Future
I'm
do
talking
some
about
shit,
as us as literally like humanity, bro. Like if aliens came to this earth, we all are part of a certain overall whole of traits and characteristics and abilities and doings and mindset, all of that, bro. Like we are technically still a part of the human family. And on that note, I'm saying like we are highly programmable, bro. Like, and I was
right?
gonna say
That's
like
true.
a lot of our great teachers have said, bro, if you don't program yourself, they will program you for you.
That's
And a lot
facts.
of people, they just, okay, I see future. That's my program, instead of saying I'm gonna program myself. But that's humanity. That's how humanity has survived for such a long time. The problem is the programming coming from the higher ups be on such BS. That
Right,
premise is supposed to be something that works. You're supposed to
right.
be getting consciousness from a very good state, and it can happen at any given state. All you need is about 2 to 3 generations of a people that don't know anything. Like if you hear about how they doing in North Korea and stuff like that, I was just hearing some stuff like Kim Jong Un, the second, third, whatever the dude who in power right now. They're saying that he low key damn near remade the Bible, bro, and he damn near replaced himself with Jesus, and he put his daddy to be damn near like God. No, no,
And
no.
he
Yeah, and basically was or something like that. It was trying to say like yeah, like he died for his sins or something like. So basically, these people in North Korea are like feeling like hella like scared, and like it's a religious thing going on with that. Like you can program people very easily if you
damn.
take
That's
out.
good. No, go ahead.
No, I was feeling in where you can program people very easy if you take out other forms of information and programming. And unfortunately, bro, there will always be people. They were like I was saying, I was just tripping off the fact, bro. Like no matter what, bro, good and bad people have the ability to create. You have good parents and bad parents, and that bad parent can have a million children. The same, like everybody got the ability to do whatever. So ultimately, it's like people gonna just they gonna make their choices, bro, and you can't really man can't really control that.
I agree.
And it's like it's
I
going to be
super
somebody
agree.
who wants some negative stuff, or it's gonna mess around and be somebody who just gonna be programmed.
It's
And
crazy
they
you brought that
exist
up
too. They
about
exist.
Kim Jong Un writing his own Bible because that got me pondering, and it's like, damn. So let's say let's say the society kind of went along with that. The youth in that society wouldn't be able to. They would absorb it basically, not knowing what actually happened. And this what goes on in today's society. Like, let's look at majority of the Christians in America. If they grew up in China, they would most likely fall under a Chinese religion. They'll probably be Buddhist. Or if they grew up in India, they might be Hindu. Or if they grew up over in West Africa or something, they might mess with the Yoruba tradition or something like that. So it go for one, it goes off your environment and like your environment, because a lot of other factors too. But that just brought me to the environment, and to have tricks could easily be played. Like you said, he switched himself out with Jesus. When we looking at the Bible today, who's not to say certain shit was edited out of this original book to control the masses? Like that should be a easy come together on the 2+2. And it's not to throw out the Bible, because the Bible is hella metaphysical. Everybody should study the Bible, but we should first study history, his story, and study her story. Okay, so you could get the both pieces of what actually happened. Like, then claim the religion if you want to claim it, and attach yourself to the natural roots of the religion. You want to get to the roots. But I'm glad you brought that up about Kim Jong Un, his crazy ass switching himself out with Jesus. Because when we look at the Bible today, like the devil,
I mean,
damn,
yeah, it's
like, cause
definitely
look, it's like the devil, damn near, how can I put it, perverted that bitch and implemented himself in as the God almost. Like that's what I see. Like when you said that, it made me think of that, on how like
oh yeah, it's
not. And when I
people have done
say,
that in real time all the time.
hold
Like
on,
I
hold on,
think
hold on,
North
hold on.
Korea is
I
just the
gotta throw
largest.
this out there. When I
Mhm.
say the devil, I'm not talking about an actual entity that you thinking of with the horns and shit. I'm talking
Mhm.
about the lower nature of somebody, the lower
Mhm.
nature, somebody's lower self, that being the devil. They,
Right.
multiple people, not just one, they thought and acted on perverting the original text that was coming from Africa, and that coming
Mhm.
from many different sources, perverting it and implementing themselves as God. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see. But go ahead with your point, God.
No, I was gonna say we see that being done in real time all the
Mm-hmm.
time. North Korea is just like the biggest example that we've seen. You know, we've seen a lot of people with coats and all of this stuff, and ultimately that's why I go back to, like, I feel like it's Star Trek, bro. Like there's going to be somebody that want to do stuff how they want to do it, bro. Like you can pull up to a planet where everybody walk backwards. You know, everybody walk on all fours. Everybody, you know, it's a total Beyonce world. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody damn near worships Beyonce, and it's like you can go around trying to explain to them all day what you believe or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, you know, they're going to do whatever it is that they want to do, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like getting into the future, bro. Like I'm feeling more and more of an individual. You know what I'm saying? Spirit. Like as much as I'm a part, I'm individual, you know, in this world, but not of, or yeah, in this world, but not of it. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, because a lot of people are going to do what they want to do, bro. And I feel like that's why that quote is so ancient and old, because people have been understood all of this stuff is going on, and it's like I'm in this world, but I'm not of it. Like, I'm not about to allow myself to be mindlessly programmed by everybody's other, like it's somebody else's agenda most time that you're being programmed with. You know what I'm saying? And that's supposed to be done in a positive way. You're supposed to be programming your masses. The masses, it's like it's not exactly just programming. It's also can be seen like, you know how you see ants, and ants move like they have like a hive mentality. They move all with one. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like similar to how the program can be looked at. It's like everybody is being given a signal, um, a vibration, you know, through voice or whatever you can say, to or like, you know, just other manipulation, like rather that's visuals, symbols, etc., so that they can move accordingly in a successful way. You know what I'm saying? For the greaterment of the entire body of the, you know, the people, the population, whatever it is. Like, and we don't see that. We see a lot of greedy people saying we can low key use this principle to our own gain and just basically rape the system. like I said, it's been being done all the time. Kim Jong Un is not the only example of that. Like to the
Oh, for
like
sure,
in
for
the like
sure.
I'm saying, in this day, like you got people in Africa, people all around the world have claimed to be these deities, and they have all type of stuff. Low key in the Middle East, it was just a dude who was claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus,
Of
bro.
you talking about? Oh no, I seen a dude claiming to be Inky. You seen that? Or
Uh,
Enlil. He was claiming to be Inky or Enlil, one of them.
yeah,
Them Sumerian
I'm
guys.
not exactly sure about that, but if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was this dude saying he was down at the return of Jesus, and he was actually getting like some or the return of the Muhammad, but I doubt it was Muhammad. Um, and like he was getting actually some you know people were kind of putting them out there. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like they was
I
kind
think I
of
seen that shit too.
supporting them, and
No,
I'm like, man,
I agree, for I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie, we touched on a lot. Y'all really need to rewind, digest, rewind again, digest. Send it out, you know what I'm saying? Share, like, comment, and subscribe,
yeah,
okay? You've
yeah,
been
yeah,
tapping into the elect Godcast. It's your brother, Net of Nature, also known as Ether, also known as the $15 Mama. I'm also known as the Healing Guru, you know what I'm saying? But I was in the building with the young God clips, you know what I'm saying, touching on many things that's
yeah.
plaguing the paradigm today or plaguing the consciousness of many people today. But
Big
before
facts,
we get out of here, go ahead, lead the family with a message, my brother.
man. The message would be, um, in life it's kind of like it's a bunch of music playing all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can choose to listen to somebody else's music, or you can play your own. I mean, you can turn it up as loud as you want, possibly to get other people to listen to it, or you can just listen to your own tune. In this day and age,
Mm,
you gotta really
mm,
kind of listen to your own music if you feel like you too left, too it's too much craziness. There's so much going on that's outside of your own true being. Don't be too far out of that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're willing to, tune into your own self, your own vibration, basically. You know what I'm saying? And definitely let these niggas know they being lame. We got to start letting people know they lame. Get to some money,
exactly.
take care of your family, and like you know what I'm saying, and live your life. A lot of these dudes is lame. Like if you with that community, the LGBTQ community or whatever, that's fine. But ultimately, a lot of these dudes are heterosexual men who rushing to go to jail and be with men for the rest of their life. And it's suffer.
Mm, mm,
If not working, the solution ain't working. It might be hard. I've been in the trenches. I've been in all that. It's not working.
mm.
We got to figure something out. Start letting these niggas know they lame. So
Facts.
that's what I'm feeling. It's
I
your boy Cliff
definitely
God.
agree.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
go
tune
ahead.
in.
Go ahead. Tell them where to find you at.
Yeah, definitely find me at on Instagram 378 Apparel. You can tune in to
The
378
link
Apparel
gonna be in the
store.
description. I'm gonna throw the clothing link in the
Yeah,
description.
definitely tune in, man. We got some major things coming, man. Black owned business in house. Everything we
Yes,
doing is
sir.
in house, man. We gonna do some major things, man. Been designing over 15 years, so I got a lot of time in the game. It's really not just time to start, implementing a real, paradigm shift. You know what I'm saying? As far as where we taking it with the business, elevate.
Facts. We definitely going all the way up. Entrepreneurship all the way, and we trying to educate ourselves, educate our women, educate our youth. You know what I'm saying? And that was a great point. Great point you gave. You know what I'm saying? Over great point you gave. So let's really, yeah, like get off the lame shit. Like I seen, quick point. I just seen people my age talking about, oh, they had Chicago busing last night. We need to get rid of all that. That's not busing. Okay, if you talking about busing from a good standpoint, that's not busing. So we really need to get off the lame shit because there is a lot of lame shit being going on out here. Anything that's a detriment to you, your people, the community is super lame. Okay, you should be getting violated. Okay, we don't need no more liabilities in this shit. Only assets. And if you are a liability, let us know so we can separate your ass over there with the rest of the liabilities. But over here, it's only assets, only the elect, okay? And we really trying to change the paradigm, you know what I'm saying? But that's enough for today. Was in the building on a knowledge born day, okay? I hope we birth a lot of ideas in your brain. I hope we drop knowledge on you today. Okay.
Yeah,
It's your
yeah.
brother, Netta Nature. Okay. Also known as Ether, also known as the 15th Dalai Lama, was in the building with my brother, the young God Clips. We signing out. It's the Elect Godcast. Peace, family.
All right, love.
Love.
Nature. If the gun only weapon that you got, you might be in danger.